Hey everyone, it's Paige and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing another shot scope coaching series video, which I know you guys love so much. We have done breaking 100, breaking 90 before, and today we're doing how to break 80. Not many golfers who play have broken 80, and so I'm going to give you some helpful tips to be able to do so. You guys already know what I'm going to say, but keeping your data and your stats is so incredibly important to the growth of your game. You know what your weaknesses are, you know what you're good at, and also it gives you a sense of comfort because you know that you don't have to take a massive leap in your game to get better. For example, to break 80 seems very daunting to shoot in the 70s for the first time, but it really comes down to 4 key features. It's playing par 5s better, it's chipping it closer, hitting a couple more greens, and working on your putting. So let's start with this par 5. I absolutely love par 5s because I know that they are a birdie opportunity, and there's so many ways to play them. If you are looking to break 80 for the first time, I'm going to show you how to think your way around a par 5. So this one happens to be one that I can reach into, which I'm just chomping at a bit to get to it because I'm looking at an eagle or a birdie, and worst case, if I don't hit a great drive, I can still make a birdie in 3 shots. When you're looking to break 80, you want to start thinking about course management. So look at the pin and draw back. Where do you want to be for your second shot, your third shot? How do you want to play the hole? You can't just go out there and kind of be like, well, okay, I don't know what I want to do. No, you need to be focused and prepared and know what you want to do if you're looking to shoot in the 70s. So I want to hit a bit of a fade, and to do so, I'm going to go over on this right side. So now it opens up the entire left side of that fairway so I can hit the shot that I want to. I actually annihilated that golf ball. So I'm looking at turning this into a 2-shot hole, and I have eagle in my mind, but let's talk about how to play it when I get there. I have 155 back into this pin for my second shot on a par 5. Like I said, I absolutely destroyed that golf ball off the tee and left myself in a really good spot. If you are farther back and you're making this into a 3-shot hole, there are 2 things that I think about if I'm deciding to go for it or to lay up. Is it a club that I can get there easily with in my second shot? Yes, then you go for it. No, look about the trouble around. Are there greenside bunkers? Are there places that you don't like to be? I'm really great out of the bunker, and I'm actually really good just around the greens, and so most of the time I end up going for it because I feel like the closer that I am to the hole, the lower I will shoot, and that's just a personal preference for me because I don't mind a 40, 30, 50 yard kind of chip shot off of a tight line. Most people really hate that. So if that's the case and you know you can't get there and then there is some trouble around the green and you don't feel quite confident, then you lay up, and you lay up to a yardage that feels comfortable to you. Maybe it is 110, 120, it could be 70, 80, whatever. It's your yardage, and you will always lay up to that yardage, and that's how you play it if it is a 3-shot hole. Again, it goes back to thinking through your way around the golf course, knowing what each shot's going to do and where to leave yourself. This is straightforward and it's easy. Go for it, and let's again try to attack this pin. Put myself kind of in a tough position off of this kind of downhill slopey lie. I did not execute the shot that I wanted, but I also got a really bad break when it hit. It shot directly to the left side, and sometimes that happens, and so we'll focus on getting up and down next. So I ended up pin high, but on that left side after a not so great kick. And like I said, I feel very comfortable around the greens, and like I can score better here than if I was 100 yards out. I've always been that way, and that's just how my game is. knowing your game is really important to shooting lower scores and where you feel comfortable, and you know that through the data. My data tells me that I have a really great short game, and that's a strength of mine, so I play into that strength. If you're a better wedge player, a long iron player, play into your strengths, and it could be, I mean, it's very individualized, so it's different for everyone, and that is why it is key to keep your data with shot scope. So I'm gonna come here and look at the shot at hand. Thick rough, so I know it's going to roll out. It's also sloping down to that left side. Hit the exact shot that I wanted, and I've left myself a little bit more than I was hoping for, but around 4 feet, and let's try to make my birdie. Okay, so I made my birdie and I played the par 5 well. Again, par 5s are your time to take advantage and to make some birdies, and hopefully this helped with some course management. Let's talk about how to hit more greens. Let's talk about playing the percentages when it comes to hitting more greens. Low 80 golfers hit around 36% of greens per round. We want to hit 1 or 2 more to bump that number up to 40% to get you in that 70 number. So what we're looking at is middle of the green. Most golfers try to attack every single pin, and you need to wait for that moment to attack. Play towards the center of the green. Play those percentages. I've talked about this before, but we're gonna do the stoplight. You have red, yellow, and green. Most pins are red. You don't want to attack them. They're gonna put you in very difficult situations, and getting up and down is going to be near impossible. Yellow is one where you're like, I think I can go for this, and it really just depends. Maybe it sets up really great for your shot shape. You feel very comfortable on it. It's a par 5. Those are the ones that you can go for. And then green is middle. So that's what you want to play for. It's a safe shot, safe pin, and those are the ones that you can fire at, because you're going to have pins that are in the middle of the green, and those are the ones that you can play for. So again, it's just being really smart. So while I'm looking at this green ahead of me right now, it is in the center. This is green light all day long. If I miss it left, I'm going to be okay. If I miss it right, going to be okay. There is no trouble around this green except for rough, and we're going to talk about short game in just a second. But this is green light all day long. This is one that you will want to fire at, and you can fire at. If it was on that left side of the screen, no go. It slopes around that way so you can play for that, but it's not worth it. Or if it was, I struggle with hitting fades, so if it was on that right side, probably also wouldn't go for it. So this is green light. So I hit a really great shot there. Obviously, I was going just towards the center of the green. I pulled it just slightly, but it still worked out really well because I gave myself enough room on both sides. But if that pin was deep on that left side of the screen and I hit that shot, I probably would have been in the rough. So again, it just goes back to thinking your way around the golf course. And although we're talking about how to break 80, this applies to everyone's game. If you're looking to break 100 or if you're looking to break 70, you want to focus on these key features. We're not going to hit every single green. I know, sad reality, but it's true. Not even tour pros are hitting 18, 17 greens per round. If you are going to try to break 80, you are looking at missing around 11 greens per round. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that's what I do too. And when I was playing professionally, I really struggled with my irons and I missed so many greens, but having a really great short game kept me in it, and I could shoot par or under par by relying on my short game. The goal is, if you want to shoot in the 70s, is to get your chip shots closer. We're looking about inside 6 feet is the goal. So what I like to do is practice the up and down drill, or I'll have 2 balls. I like less. I think less is more when it, well, in a bunch of things, especially my clothing. But in golf and practice, less is more. Sometimes I would just dump a bunch of golf ball down, hit, and I just got in a routine of just not really practicing anything of substance. And so when you're really trying to get down into the 70s, you need to focus on practicing with a purpose. So doing the up and down drill is great. I've showed that one on this channel many times before, but doing 2 golf balls and giving yourself really difficult lies. And so I'm going to push this one down in the rough, and you want to work on challenging yourself, because if you're missing 11 greens per round, you're going to be putting yourself in some difficult spots. So here I have 2 kind of difficult lies. It's sitting down and it's a sloping downhill fast green kind of shot. And so what I want to do is open the club face, put it back in my stance, kind of chop down on it. I want to hit it up on that right side and let it roll over. When you're trying to get to this level of breaking 80, you need to be very focused in. Like I was talking about the par 5s and course management and how you think your way around hitting greens, you want to be very particular about your short game and reading the greens and knowing what they do and visualizing the shot, because that is so incredibly important. If you misread the chip shot, you could hit a good shot, but it rolls too far and then you're outside that 6 feet mark that we're trying to hit. So you need to take a little bit extra time to be able to do so, and you can do it quickly. When your other playing competitors are hitting, you can walk up, you can read the shot, you can take that extra second to focus in on what you're doing. That was a really great example of what I was talking about, where reading the green is really important. You want to read the chip shot like a putt. It was able to break in, and now I'm inside that 6 feet mark. Again, another really great shot. So take your 2 balls, hit some really difficult shots, challenge yourself. That is the most important thing when you're practicing. You don't need a lot of time, but when you're doing it, I really want you to focus in, go through your routine, and pick challenging shots for your short game. The last step in shooting in the 70s is avoiding 3 putts. You want to try to eliminate all 3 putts, and sounds daunting, but it's really not. There are 2 things that you really want to focus on. First is your lag putting. If your lag putting is good, you're never really going to have to challenge yourself or stress yourself out with those 6-7 footers. You should have inside 2 feet with your lag putt. So we'll talk about that, and then your short putts as well. You know, when you're chipping it, we're saying that that 6 feet mark is good, so you want to feel really comfortable from 6 feet. So I'm going to give you a couple drills that's going to help you with your putting. The key to great lag putting is tempo. I've shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. When people come up to me, there's 2 things that they say. I love your flop shot, that really helped me, and 1 potato, 2 potato. And so I'm gonna say it one more time because I need to ingrain it into your brain. When you have bad lag putts, it's because you take it back too fast and then you have to rush it through, or you take it back too long and then you have to decelerate. Having great tempo and consistency, it's almost like a pendulum when your putter is swinging with lag putts. So you go 1 potato, 2 potato. That is the only thing I want you to think of with your lag putts, and you're gonna have so much consistency when you're doing your lag putting. As you can see, I'm not forcing it back or forcing it forward. I'm just letting the club head do the work, and that's really going to help with your longer putts. You guys know that I love the 3-6-9 drill. I think that is one of the greatest drills of all time when it comes to putting. Another one that I like is around the world. You can do this so many different ways, but if you're really trying to bring what you're practicing out to the course, this is what I like to do. It's 3 footers, and you go around the cup, and each time you're going to do 1 ball and pick it up, do your routine for each different set, and see how many you make or see how many times you can go around without missing. So I'm going to set up, none is what we got the first time. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, 1. And then, I'm gonna move it just slightly forward of that spot. You can also set tees out too, really just up to you. It's great to move around because you're seeing it break so many different ways instead of just hitting the same putt over and over and over again. Some people struggle with left to righters, right to lefters, and so you're challenging yourself by doing different putts every single time and going through your practice routine as if you were out on the golf course. And that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, if you're interested in any of the ShotScope products like the X5 or the Pro LX Plus, you know what to do. I'm going to link it down below. You can use my code Paige for a discount. And before you leave, don't forget to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next Thursday.